your spirit cannot control you, but you must all the time listen to your spirit as well. So thank you very much. So, but there are some people who decide to let the spirits to control them, and when you let spirits control you, then you have no place in the spiritual world, because the spirit can decide anytime whatever they wanted to do without you being in charge. Thank you very much. Then we have Joshua Agbemasi. Say good evening, Daddy. Hello, Joshua. How are you? Thank you very much for joining. Then we have KP Love 7771. We are now on TikTok, right?
Yes, please.
Yes, I say greetings, Papa. Hello, KP Love. Greetings to you too. Then we have Adinkra Thomas. Adinkra Thomas is say hello, Dad. Hello, Thomas. How are you? Thank you very much for joining. Then we have Mascot. Please, are you in Ghana? Yes, I am in Ghana and in Accra, Ghana, the capital city of Ghana. That's where our shrine is. Thank you very much. Go up and let's see. Oh, that's all.
Yes, please.
That's all for now.
Yes, please.
Okay. On TikTok. Okay. Thank you very much.
Another question.
Somebody brought a mascot. No, Jesse Jerem say hello, Daddy. Hello, Jesse. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, good day to you. Please prepare questions and post them for me to try to answer. All of you, Mascot, Joshua, Agbemasi, and everybody. Thank you very much.
Okay, please, Papa, we are going to YouTube.
It's okay. We are going to YouTube now. We don't have anything there yet.
Yes, please.
Okay, on YouTube we don't have anything there yet. And you said,
please, Papa, we'll go to Facebook.
We'll go to Facebook again. African Magic, or go to just there. Okay, let's go to Revolution on Facebook. Yes, let's go. We have a Miano Nyongboshi Adelashi. Okay, Miano Nyongboshi Adelashi. And say greetings, Papa. How do you do? Miano? I'm okay. I am doing well today. Thank you very much for joining the section. Adelashi, please prepare questions and send me so that we can all judge, or we juggle with it and we learn from it. Tell me something or ask me some question. Maybe there are so many things that I don't know much about Anyongbo. So if you can ask questions, and if I don't understand, I will ask you to give us the answer so everybody can learn from that. For many people who don't know what they say Nyongbo, it's a snake that is very revered in our culture. It's a particular snake that is very revered called Anyongbo. But then some people, it's just like the Voduda. Yeah, but then this one is the African golden python. That's called a Gonyambo. So she is like a priestess to that spirit. So that's what Nyano Nyamboshi and the Lashi, and at the same time is also at the Voodoo priestess. Thank you very much. Then we get Henry Hansen say, "Wow, Papa, this ghost story was so shocking. There are many things in this world." Which ghost story was that?
About the people, those who die traumatic.
People who die traumatic death.
They show. You were talking about some of the things that have happened
after they died, and their physical actions in there. They are called the living dead. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Doc, thank you. You know, I didn't listen to what was being played, but once you brought this one up, it's good. Thank you. Yes, it's very, very interesting. And then we have a Eke Beke. Say greetings, sir. Baba, where is Senna? Okay, Eke. Senna is now stationed in China. Senna is now working in China for between China and Africa governmental agencies. So he's been given a job by Chinese related, government related agencies, and he now works there in China. But China, this social media, Facebook, and all this thing are not so open up there. So, but he will find a way to transfer to the Chinese system once he's settled. Then he can be joining us, and we are doing this program. Thank you very much, Eke. Eke, thank you. And then, Miano Nyongboshi Adelasi says, share to all your prayers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miano. Very grateful that you joined.
Yes, Papa, we are going to Facebook African Magic Temple.
Okay, we are going to Facebook African Magic Temple to see what is there. Okay, I think we have some few questions there. A question coming from DJA saying that can spirit confront you and ask you to work with them? Yes, it is possible that a spirit can appeal to you that you should work with them, because I have had such experiences in many, many places when I visit at a shrine and the spirits in the shrine think that I'm a good person and they want to work with me. They may ask or request if I would like to work with them. And if I understand the spirit, what it can do and what it's capable of doing, and I think that I can work with it, sometimes I agree to work with them. But I'll give them a test first to show me so many things and to show that they are doing the work. Then I can see that they are practical, they can work. Then I work with them. For instance, there is a spirit in my shrine called Damalia, which is a spirit that myself and my friend created. Whether I would say we created it or not, in the sense that you don't see the Damalia shrine in many places, but we have some ideas about what that plant can do, and slowly we set up the plant and did the necessary rituals. So in the first days, I asked it was okay. It's not like the spirit requested me, but I wanted to set it up. But I asked the spirit to show me if it is powerful enough to work with me, and I gave it a task that if any chicken in my house come and pass under you or come to your shrine, you should kill the chicken to prove to me that you are powerful. So, yes, after some time, I have forgotten that I had given that task to the Damalia. So I was, my chickens were dying in the house, and I became angry. What's happening to these chickens? And then they are just dying and dying and dying. Then one day I went to pray at its shrine. Then he reminded me, but I told him to be killing the chicken to show me that it's powerful. Then I said, okay, now that I knew that you are doing the thing, I beg you, you should stop killing them. And that also stopped. So sometimes spirits can ask you to work with them, or you can also ask a spirit that you want to work with them if you think the spirit is okay. But a spirit that you don't know at all, you need to do research and need to know to make sure you understand its work, its taboos and things it does like and things it doesn't like. Because by doing so, you will be able to overcome the challenges that come in the future should the spirit get angry with you for not following its rule. So DJS, spirit can confront you for you to work with them. And if you accept, you can work with them. If you don't accept, it's not a force. Thank you. And then DJA went on to say, sir, please, do you always have to build a temple for a spirit? Or you can have a spirit without building a temple for them? Yeah, you can have a spirit. You can have spirits without building a temple for them. but you have to give them a place. Because you see, when we say temple or shrine, it just simply means that where you will go and pray to the spirit if you want to have contact with it, like in prayer or invocation. So anywhere in your room, a small corner in your room can be dedicated to them. And that is already a shrine. A shrine or a temple does not need to be a big house or anything. It can be as small as uh, this box, this tissue box. It can be as small as this. It can be as even. It can also be as small as a cup. But once that place must be dedicated for the spirit to be there, so you don't need to build a whole house or structure in order to say that you have a shrine or you have a temple. You can just even or just put the table down in a corner, or even if you don't want to put the table down in a corner, just create a space for them so that they will have their own space. In the sense that we are human beings and they are spirits, and we human beings, our lives are different from the life of spirits. So for the spirits to feel comfortable and work with you comfortably, you need to create a place that you say, okay, this is where you people will stay. I am human being, me too, I am staying here, you to stay there. That is fine. So DJ, yes, uh, you don't need to build anything elaborate. Call it a shrine or temple before spirits will work with you. Spirits will work with you, even if you put them in your pocket. Even let's say some of the spirits are just in a bag and we just hang them, and that's their shrine or that's their temple. We hang them on the wall somewhere, and that's it. So when I want to pray to them, I go to that place on the wall and pour libation to them. But if you have more questions or further questions, please ask. Then we have a Iweze Kanyo. Iweze Kano. It's giving us a uh, up, thumbs up. Thank you very much, Uweze Kano. Thank you very much. Then we have a Michelle Nicolo. Hello, and thank you so much for your time and wisdom. What are the main responsibilities of someone who has been initiated? The main responsibility of someone who has been initiated is to be able to hold the rules of the initiation, the directions of the initiation, so that whatever he or she is doing reflect or emulate what he was taught during initiation. Because it is usually said that when you are initiated, you are no more like an ordinary person. You are a totally different person now from what you were before. And your life should show it. You have to show it in your character. Because when you are properly initiated, if you're not careful, anything that comes out of your mouth take can become physical. It will appear in the physical world. So when you are talking, you should be able to talk in a way that your voice should not be for distraction, but for creating life or protecting life. That's how you should be. So a person who is initiated should just live a very responsible life. So that's a responsibility. And it is not only to you as an initiate, but also to people you deal with and the world in general. You must be responsible for your actions. Then, of course, if you are taught some kind of incantations or prayers to be doing, you should do them from time to time in order to connect you to the spirit world. Thank you very much, Michelle Nicolo. Then we have a DJ say, thank you, sir, for answering my question. God bless you, Papa. And God bless you too. Thank you very much for that question.
Yes, Papa, we're going to YouTube.
Okay, we go to YouTube again. I think we're okay. Now we have a on YouTube, we have Michael James saying, our brother saying, good morning, Baba. Lafia. Lafia. Thank you. And blessings to you and your family, others around the world. Thank you. May our ancestors protect us and guide us to our destiny path. May our Ori be blessed and protected. Ashe. Thank you very much, Michael. I'm wishing you a very lovely day. Today is Sunday. I wish you a very lovely day, and you you have a very good day, and may your dreams come true for you. Thank you very much. And then we have Edward Craig. He say, Ella Chelo, Papa, and all Magic Temple people. Thank you very much, Bokor, Baba, Craig. I'm very grateful. How have you been? How is your madam, and how are the spirits and the Orishas all with you? My greetings to all the Orishas that you work with. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful that you joined the section today. And how is Costa Rica for that? Yeah. Oh, I think go back to the YouTube. We have one more question there. And then we have Timmy Nyambe in saying greetings, Papa and the AMT family. Looking good, watching you from Zambia. And thank you very much, Timmy Nyambe. I'm very grateful. Yes, I try my best today to put myself together so that I can be here and not like last week that I was really suffering. But then today I'm much better. Thank you thank you all for your prayers and well wishes. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Yes.
Going to
TikTok. Okay, let's go to TikTok, and then we have gone through those ones already. Okay, then we are coming to that. Just okay. Just say Jerem and say, Daddy, please. I know if everyone can walk with. I want to know if everyone can walk with spirit. Yes, of course, everybody can walk with spirit. Everybody can work with spirit, and everybody can have an association with spirit. But you must find the right teacher to be able to teach you, so that when you are working or working with spirit or having an association with spirit, it will not be on the negative side for you. There's a lot of people who want to have spirits or to want to associate with spirit mainly because they want to take revenge. They want to vilify other people for vilification purposes. If you are a person who has that kind of mind, yes, you can have a spirit that will be able to attack your supposed enemies for you. But don't forget that if you are using your spirits to attack other people without any cause, one day another person also may use a spirit that may be powerful than yours to attack you. So it's advisable to be on the right path. Getting a good teacher is the first step on that. Okay. We have Okatachi Leo Kodi. Kodi. Say good evening, Papa. Please, is it okay for someone to have a dwarf without any guardians, please? How are you going to get the dwarf in the first place if you don't have any guardian? That's the question. To have a dwarf, is it that easy for you to be able to have a dwarf? Yes, but if you are lucky that a dwarf has approached you by themselves, then you know that you don't need a guardian because they are going to teach you. So that's how I would say it. So if you are going to have a dwarf and the dwarf is coming by itself on its own to approach you, then of course you don't have any challenge with that, because the dwarf is the one that is the dwarf is the one who come to you, so the dwarf is going to give you direction. So yes, you can have a dwarf without any guardian. Don't practice something that you cannot control. So if you know that the dwarf came by itself to you, then that's fine because the dwarf will not come to you to harm you. But if someone told you that will go and look inside this book, in that book, or go and try this, and the dwarf will come, that's where the danger is. But you can't have a dwarf without a guardian. Thank you, Okata Chie Leo Cody. And then we have Jesse Jerem say, please, Daddy, I want to know if everyone can walk with spirit. Yes, everyone. There's no thing. If you are a human being and you are normal, you probably will be even be working with some a spirit that you don't even know that you are working with spirit. So everyone can work with spirit because the spirits are just like us. The only difference between ourselves and spirit is that they are invisible to our physical eyes. Thank you.
Please, Papa.
That's the last one.
Yes, please, Papa.
Okay.
Yeah, please, Papa. We are going to Facebook.
Facebook. Okay. Thank you. I think we don't have any new question.
Yes, please.
Okay. I have a question on Clubhouse. Let me take that one. It's coming from Zia Baha. He said, Wezolo, Papa. Okay, thank you very much, Zia Baha. Saying Wezolo. And then Zia Baha, he said, Papa, how does AMT work with the dead? Zangbeto or Egungu? Or are there other spirits used? Thank you. Okay. Zia Baha, thank you very much for the greeting. And then here with the working with the dead, we work with the dead as in the ancestors. That's how we work with the dead. That when the ancestors ask or request for a ceremony or a ritual or a fossa to be done for them, then we work with them that way by doing whatever they ask us to do. But unfortunately, I don't work with Zangbeto because I don't believe a Zangbeto is a spirit. Especially at least the modern ones that we see every day on social media. I don't believe Zangbeto is a spirit. I believe strongly that there are human beings hiding inside those things. Likewise with Egungun. I'm not talking about the original Egungun. The Egunguns that are on social media every day and walking in public. Zangbeto walking out and dancing and spinning around. I don't believe in those kind of spirits. And I don't have any association with them, and I don't want to associate with them. Because what I am doing here is I'm doing real thing. I'm not here to fool people or to deceive people or to let people think that a spirit can walk like a human being and spirits can talk like a human being. Because where I have learned so far for all this many years, over 4 decades, I was never told that a spirit can speak a human voice or a spirit can move like a human being. A spirit moves like a spirit, not like a human being. So I don't believe in the Zangbeto. I don't work with them. But I work with many other spirits that are very active daily in my shrine and in my life and in the life of my students. Thank you very much, Zia Baha. Yeah, let's go to where we are going to YouTube and
Yes,
we have
please.
Michael James. The dreams, visions of places you never physically been to or seen in reality. However, the person who dream of these visions no doubt feel that they've been there before. Baba, what is this voodoo spirit? Okay. Okay, let me take my time before answering your question, Michael. The question is about dreams because physically you have never been to a place before, but in your dream you see yourself traveling to a place or meeting people and interacting with different people. I think dreams are the, what do you call it? Is it the windows to the mind or whatever? The dreams are showing you what is already stored in your mind over your previous lifetime, and also things that are happening around you now. Your subconscious mind can grab it, and these things come in dream. Sometimes there are places that you have never been before, and you see yourself going back to that place many times in your dream, not only one time, not only two times. That this will show you that somewhere your inner self or your soul or your essay or your ori is connected to that place. So when you are sleeping, when the body is asleep, the inner self or the soul or the essay or your destiny wakes up, get out of your body, and is doing, is moving around and having interactions with so many things on the psychic plane. So when you sleep, even though physical body is sleeping, the spirit within you does not sleep, and it is going to places that it had been before, and there may be places that it's going to go in the future, because the mind is the most powerful weapon that has been given to man, and it is the mind that we have dreams with. So the mind travels to many places and go to different places to interact and also have some experiences. Sometimes when you even go to a place physically, maybe you have never been to that place before, but when you get there, somehow you will be feeling that it seems like I'm familiar with this place. I've been here before, but then there is no way you can explain physically that you had been there before. Maybe you fly from one country to another, to a country you have never been physically before, but you get there and you go to a place, or you come have this familiar feeling that I must have been here. But when you look at your own life from the day you were born until the time you are there, you have never been there physically. So there is high possibility that your dream, in your dream, you had been to that place or to been to those places, and when you physically get there, the remembrance is there, the familiarity comes, but you cannot associate it with any physical event. So what I mean by saying this is because our minds travel while the physical body, that's why it is said that the body is the only thing that dies. The spirit in the body doesn't die, because death, as it is known, is a long sleep where you are dreaming, but you don't wake up from your dream. Your dream become your reality, and then the body is now useless and disposed of, either by burial, cremation, or other means. So your soul travels, and that is what you probably will be seeing in your dream. So when you dream, we were told by our teachers and our ancestors that sometimes the ancestors come in your dream to teach you and also to lead you through certain situations you are in. So definitely, when you are having dreams or visions, it is there something the mind or your inner self is trying to show you. Yeah. Some people say they don't dream at all, but what is their problem is that when they are dreaming, because dreams are occurred on the subconscious state of the mind, conscious part of the mind. That's where dreams take place. So when the conscious mind is waking up and is not able to grasp what the subconscious mind was showing to it, that's when you wake up and you think that you don't have a dream. But if your conscious mind during the waking up state, and you during the waking up state, and your subconscious mind is retreating, and then the conscious mind is waking up, if the meeting of the subconscious mind and the conscious mind is where you have a memory of what the subconscious mind has shown you while your body was lying down. So they have dream, but their conscious minds are not able to grasp what the subconscious mind had shown them. That's what it is. So people, everybody dream, but some people cannot remember their dream due to that. So a dream state is a psychic plane where you are being shown things by ancestors and the spirit world. So sometimes you have to watch your dreams also to see whether when you dream, whether it materializes. What you see in your dream materializes on the physical plane. For me, when I dream, certain times it materializes and I see them on the physical plane. And many people also do the same. So thank you very much for that very beautiful question, Michael James. I'm very grateful for that question. We are all learning from each other. And then we have a Timmy Nyambe saying, Papa, I have been consistently having dreams of being in a particular places, which is the physical life, which in the physical life I've never been there but in my dreams I keep going there and I'm always welcome. What could that be? That's what I was just explaining, that sometimes in a dream you go to the same place many times. It's a place that your mind or your spirit or your soul visits, and the place that is familiar with you. Maybe it is not on the physical plane, maybe it's on the spiritual plane. And it is also possible that it is a place on the physical world, but you have never been there. But if God permits, one day you will be able to go to a place, and then physically you will not know. You will be familiar with the place, but you cannot tell how you had been there. And it could be in your dream. And in your dream state, the ancestor, the spirit world, and your Ori or your inner self or Esse is taking you around places that you had been either in your past life. They are just replaying the record for you, or a place that you may be going in the future. Thank you very much, Timmy. If that's not very clear, you can ask more questions. Then Timmy Nyambe say, right in the dream, I even tell myself that I know this place. I have been here before. Yes, of course. It occurs to many people. You know that you have been there, and things there are familiar to you, means your spirit had been there many times. That's why. It could be some place in your past life, or it could also be a place that you will be visiting in the future. But your mind, your inner self, your spirit had always been aware of that place. That's why. Then we have Charlotte Panel say, good morning, Papa and AMT family. Papa, you teach that our destiny is chosen before birth. Why would someone choose poverty, poor health, and so on? Thank you. Yeah, it's a very good question, Charlotte. Thank you very much. When they say your destiny is chosen before you are born, means it is already determined. And sometimes it is not you as a person physically who is here who decided. It is the inner self that decided, and that also depends on the life you had lived. You know, if you go deeper into spirituality, and we are drifting into Hinduism and Oriental philosophy, you realize that the Oriental people believe in karma, action and reaction. If you live in this world and your actions were very negative in your past life, there's high possibility that when you come back into this world in the next life, you will pay for everything that you have done due to the actions that you have taken in your past life. So it may be that people choose poverty, or your destiny chose poverty for you as a way of punishing you to pay for the actions that you had taken during your lifetime. But then when you go into every cosmology, it is said that before we came into this world, our destinies were told the place that we will be going to, that the world is full of challenges and all this and that. There are certain Vosa uh, ceremonies and rituals that should be done for you, for your spirit, before you come inside this earth. But some people refuse to do it because they don't see it relevant. When they come into this world, they are having challenges because they refuse to listen to their say before coming into the world. There are some stories in Afar readings. One of them is I don't remember the quality, but the story is a story of what do you call it? The thatch that they use in roofing. When the thatch and the other grass and plants were coming into this world, they were told that the world is a very dangerous place, and that they should make sure they do some rituals, vosas, before coming. But the thatch did not listen. So when it came into the world, the only thing that it did before coming is protection, so that even no matter whatever will happen to me, I should still be alive. So the thatch came into this world, and you realize that when the grass is growing, it gets to a point people will have to come and harvest it and roof their building. Sometime, even if after harvesting, you see that it will shoot from the ground again and start growing. And sometimes it is fire that will come and burn it, and it will die off and then start life all over again. Sometimes it is the flood will come and cover it, and it will remain under the flood until all the life of this thing is gone. But when the flood subsides and the place become dry, you see that the thatch will shoot from the ground again. So the thatch has a good life, but it's always laden with all challenges. But it's not dying because it has done a protection to live. So no matter whatever happens to the thatch, it comes back alive. But it's having challenges. And another one is the chamber pot that we put inside our bedrooms at night, and a plate. It was also the same story, that they were coming into the world, and they told them that they should do some necessary vosa, so that when they come here, they will be accepted by people. But the chamber pot being big, said, no, I don't think anyone can face me when I come into this world. I am going to be over them. But then the plate, seeing that it is very small and light and doesn't have power, went and quickly did their spiritual rituals. So when they came into the world, you see the plate, everybody wants to eat inside plate. But what time do they use a chamber pot? They only use it at night, and when they use it finished, then they throw it somewhere, they hide it. They don't want people to see it. So these are the things that happen in people's life. Who, when a ritual is or a reading is done for you, and you are supposed to do the rituals, but you refuse to do the rituals to complete. If you do have, yes, half will be the answer you get. But if you do all, then it is all the full this thing that you will get. So, not that people choose poverty, but they were given some advices according to the Ewe cosmology. Advices will be given to you by your Sedada or your destiny, or what you should do before coming into this world. But if you refuse to do it, they won't force you. When you come into this world, then poverty, sickness, health, and all this thing will be coming into your life, and it this you're making. Thank you very much, Charlotte. And then we have Timmy Yambe is saying that thank you, Papa. Always teaching good. I'm very grateful. And then we have a Caps Teddy say Casp Teddy say greetings, Papa, and all AMT family. Papa, is it possible for an individual to be born into the world via the channel of twins? I don't really get your question, but all people who were born as twins just are all individuals, even though they may have a spiritual beliefs and a spiritual power in our culture. Some of them do not even care to take advantage of it or even to look for it. And if you are born a spiritualist or you are born through a spiritual channel, which is usually the twins channel, we believe that twins are natural spiritualists. That's what Aves believe. That's why twins are celebrated in Ave culture. But then there are some cultures, twins are regarded as devils and they are not celebrated. Sometimes they are killed or thrown away. And people don't celebrate them. But then in Ave culture, the twins are celebrated. I believe that in the Yoruba culture, too, twins are celebrated. So if you are an individual and born as a twin, then you are not individual anymore. But if you are a twin and you don't make any effort to build your own self spiritually, you remain like anybody else, just like people who are not born twins. That's how I can answer this question. Even if you are born with psychic eyes, if you come into this world and you don't train well, you cannot know it well. They may be coming to you as flashes, but you cannot practice it and get a good results out of it. Okay, so let me go to Clubhouse, and the Zia is here. Zia say thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you to Zia Baha. And then I think, and then Zia Baha went on. Have you heard of Gambada? Please excuse my misspelling. What is it? What do people use it for? Okay, it's not Gambada, it's Gabada. Gabada in Ewe is a spirit called a Gabada, means bad iron. Gabada. And sometimes it's also called Zibizaba, Alpha and Omega. And the typical Eves from Central Ewe and Northern Eves, we call it Gabada. But then in some other places in Evelam, they call them Zibizaba. Zibizaba or Gabada is a very powerful attraction spirit. It is mostly used for attracting the opposite sex, and also people who are smart have tuned it into attracting customers and clients for their businesses. So that's mostly what Gabara is used for. Gabara, A-V-A, Gabara. It's the same thing they call Zibizaba. I have Gabara and Zibizabas here with me because I'm working for many people, so I have them. They are very powerful. It's very powerful. I've seen it working miraculously, whether I'll call it miracle or not, but on formula. It works very well. And then I have IVK. So I can never hear it's too low in volume. Okay, so I don't know. Would this be the one? This to be? Am I? Did I put it off?
But don't worry, it will connect.
But if it's connected, if I put the power off, then it will not work.
It's on. It's gone off.
No. Is it?
Yes, Papa. It's gone.
Are you sure?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is connected.
Yes, Papa. Let me check.
Yes, I think it is.
Yes.
Okay, so what is making it not to be so low? Is it because
Maybe he should check his microphone.
okay, maybe this is not coming and it is the the speaker of the no, if it's connected then the speaker of
Yes.
the this thing cannot work. So IVK, please let me know again if it is too low for you, and because we have our speakers and everything, and they are on full volume, so I don't know why you cannot hear at all. Please look at your own decision and adjust the volume, please. And then we have Zia Baha again sing. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think Zia Baha, you stay the same Harry Hansen because of the ways or low. That's why I'm asking. Maybe you are the same as Henry Hansen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Zia Baha. And thank you, IBK. Get the this thing again. This hours. Okay. Okay. I wanted to. Okay, you have to touch the top there. Okay. So more questions here, and then okay, I think we are done with the CASP tidies answers question. Let's go to TikTok.
Yes, sir.
I think TikTok we should start taking the questions from the bottom and moving up. Or with that we will be able to. Okay, we have a Royal London say I have twins. Okay, thank you very much, Royal London. Yes, we in agriculture celebrate twins. And then we have Henry Lamte. Yes, hello Henry. It's been a while. Papa, most times I dream of picking money on floor as I walk, and my pockets hands get filled up. Yeah, in my agriculture, the area I come from, Henry Lamte. It is believed that when you are having money, you are picking money in your dream, then you are going to be poor outside. You will not have money on you when you wake up. So you are picking money in spirit and getting rich in spirit, well, but on the physical plane, you will not have money. Okay, we have Jesse Jerem saying, Daddy, please, is it possible to see spirits and be communicating with them? Yes, it is possible. That's what spiritualists do. That's why we are here. We are communicating with spirits all the time. But it's not every time that we see spirits, but once in a while, there are processes and rituals and ceremonies to do if you want to see a spirit in its physical form. There are rituals and this is done, but it's a very tough ritual. I would not recommend it for anybody if you are not very perfect because it could be very dangerous too. Yes, and then we have L222 saying, Greetings, Papa. What does your logo mean? And the Star of David, just curious. Okay, thank you very much. My logo is representing what I practice here at the African Magic Temple. The logo was designed by my son, Pele, who is the one who follows Senna. By my Japanese wife. He designed the logo. And the logo, if you look into the logo, you will see a bracelet, which I am wearing. We all who are initiated into the Magic Temple spirits, we wear the the bracelet or the bangle. It is the bracelet of one of our Patreon spirits called Tobe Jokpata. It's one of the deities that we work with. And he suggested this to us, or advised us, that we should use this chambaga to represent him. So as you see the logo here, you see the chambaga. So if you come to African Magic Temple, and also most of the people who are initiated into African Magic Temples, voodoos, we all wear tobe, chopatas, bracelet, and bangle. Okay, and then you look at the axe in the logo, which represent the authority that was given to me when I have passed through my spiritual training, and I am supposed to become. I became a priest so that I can work. The axe represent the authority that was given to me by my teacher, to be able to act in the spirit world as well as in the physical world, so that whenever I command spirits to work with me, I will anchor myself, and the spirit world can deal or work with through me. It's what the the axe represent. It's like the magic one, as in entertainment magic, or even as in spiritual magic, Western spiritual magic, where they use magic wand. We don't use magic wands in our Ewe traditional spirituality. We use things that are related to our culture. And then in the axe, you see a triangle that is going down and a triangle that is going up, and they have interlocked. Unfortunately, a lot of people mistaken it for to be the Star of David. It is not the Star of David, because these inverted triangles had been there long before Israel was formed. And Israel being formed and using this interlocked triangle to represent their country may have their own meaning. But the meaning of the two triangles is the triangle that is coming down. Of the triangle that is coming down means that we can download spiritual entities into the physical world, and the triangle going up represent that we can also upload things into the spiritual plane. So it is two ways. We, by our authority given to us, we can upload and tell the spirit world what to do for us, and at the same time we can also download, telling the spirit world to send us certain things that we request for our work, for whatever we are doing. So when people are sick, we give the matter to the spirit world, and the spirit world work on it. When people are in trouble, when we do a reading for you, we are downloading information from the spirit world to tell you what is happening in your life. And then when we are working for you, or we ask you to speak on your money, and we give it to the oracle, we are uploading your message that you have spoken on your money into the spirit world, so that the spirit world will now tell us what is happening, and then we download that one, and then we tell you what is happening in your life. That's what those triangles represent. Then you see in the middle of the inside the bracelet, where the axe has passed through the bracelet, you see that there is a cowrie. The cowrie is representing that we are diviners. We can see, is the eye. We can see, we can hear from the spirit world, and communicate with the spirit world as well. That's what the eyes there are representing. The cowries are representing the eyes, because in our culture, when people want to ask questions, it is the cowries that we throw to be able to do a reading and know. So the cowries representing our ability to be able to do divination, and to be able to interact with the spirit world and bring information to you. And then the odu, or the afakbonli, that you see in the the what do you call it? In the logo is the bowling of Woli Uwori Ogunda, which we in Eve Afa we say Woli Wo Godo. The Yoruba will say Woli Gunda, Uwori Gunda. We will say Woli Wo Godo, which simply means that please look back at your past. Go back to your roots. Turn your face backwards and see where you are coming from and see what is behind you. In other words, it is saying Sankofa, go back to your roots and discover your reality. So that is what the Oli Gudu or Oli Wakunda is all about. So can you go back to the
Yes, sir. So sorry, the other charger, Kofi took it away and didn't bring it back. So we have to change to the other camera now.
So we have to change the camera.
Yes, Papa, so that we can continue. Sorry.
Then did you call Kofi and tell him this what is going on?
He said he's sorry.
It's not a question of being sorry because they know today we are working and he also knew that he's not going to come with me. So whichever, change the camera and then let's set up. So for those people on Clubhouse, people on what do you call it? People on say I see. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you to Zia Baha. I'm grateful. And well, let's go on the TikTok, I guess. Okay, after Henry Lamprey. And you go and come.
Sorry.
Okay. So it's okay now.
Yes, please.
No, the logo should show. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you. And it is somehow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you. So as I was explaining, so that's what our logo is all about. It's a it's a logo with a full meaning. It is not just that we just drew things and put it there just because we saw it on somebody's page, and no, we created it ourselves and we know exactly the meaning of each and everything in it. Thank you very much. And then we have okay, we have read that one already.
Yes.
Then we have Mu RC79 say, hello Toby, how are you today? Oh, I am very good. Much. I don't know how to pronounce your name. MURC 79. Thank you very much. And then we have a Queen Della sending us a rose flower times one, and again Queen Della sent us 9 rose flowers, and Queen Della sent us another 1 flower. And then we have Alfred Achibra. Alfred Achibra is saying hi. Hello, Alfred Achibra. Thank you. And then MURC 79 is the one saying is Togbe answering TikTok questions. Yes, I am answering TikTok questions too. Thank you.
Yes, Papa, we are going to YouTube.
Okay. Where in YouTube again? I think all the top you have already gone through. So we are done with.
Please, Papa,
Then we have Sunshine. Show them here. Hi, Papa. Good afternoon. Can you explain what Togbe Zikwi is and what it does? Okay, that's a very good question, Sunshine. Yes, let me break it down from the Ewe grammatical point. Then you will understand the word Togbe Zikwi. Okay, Togbe in Ewe means elder, an ancestor, and also a chief. A grandfather is also called Togbe. Your ancestors are also called Togbe. Your teachers who are older than you, who are your spiritual teachers, also can be called Togbe. So Togbe is a respected title for an elder, whether alive or dead. That's what Togbe means in Ewe. And Togbe Zikwi. Zikwi simply means chair or stool that on which we sit. So when we say Togbe Zikwi, we are actually talking about the stool or the seat of the ancestors, or the ancestral stool. That's what we call Togbe Zikwi, the seat on which the ancestors sit. And Togbe Zikwi is what do you call it? It's like the point, or yes, the point where all the ancestral spirits, the ancestors of that particular clan or family, they are converging point where they all converge if they needed to be talked to, or they needed to be invoked, they needed to be spoken with. All the ancestors converge on the Togbe Zikwi, or the Togbe Zikwi is the point where they can all come together as one family. That is why, as one family. And this Togbe Zikwi, or the ancestral stool, as it may be called in English, is sometimes given a name, and in most cases, the name becomes the name of the first ancestor that they can remember before the Zikwi or the stool was created. So they give that name to the stool, or the ancestral stool. And this ancestral stool, in the living, a chief or a clan leader or a family head is put on this stool as the chief of the clan, or a queen of the clan. or the family. And most of the times, the chief or the queen mother will bear the name of the stool as the one representing the elders, the ancestors, and the community, the family, the clan. And once that name is called, once that name is called, they are making reference to the ancestors. For instance, in my clan that I come from, the Togbe Zikpi is called Togbe Geje, but the ancestral stool name is Geje. And the chief on the stool will be called Togbe Geje. Usually, the stool represents the first Geje. So, anybody who will be placed on the stool as a chief or being the first chief will be called the second, because the stool is the first, and anyone who will now ascend the throne as the leader of the community or of the clan will be called the second. And then from then onwards, when that person is no more, anyone they will place in its place will continue second, third, fourth, fifth as it goes. So this is what the Togbe Zikpi is all about. The ancestral stool is all about. And it's a very important thing in a family. That is why when you do not come from that ancestral line, or you don't have any DNA relationship with that particular stool, there is no way you will be made a chief or a queen on the stool. That's why sometimes I'm surprised when our brothers and sisters from the diaspora come to Africa and they now assume, or somebody deceive them and say, okay, you are a chief or you are a queen mother. And then they carry that on. Which family are you related to that you are very much sure and aware of, and they are putting you as a queen or a king or a chief over their ancestral stool? In most cases, none exist. And a chief cannot be a chief without a stool. You can never be made a chief or a queen if you don't have a stool. So if you are a chief or a king or a queen, and there is no stool that had been an old stool made from the ancestors or was being handed over to the clan or the community by ancestors, then you are just a king or a chief or a queen in the air. You have no stool under you. So in many communities, it is only people who share the same bloodline with share the same DNA with the stool are the ones who can be made chiefs or queens on the stool. However, you can be made a development chief. When you are made a development chief, that means you have brought some development to the community. Then the people in the community would decide that, oh, this person has brought such a good brought such good things into our community. We want to honor the person, and then they give you a title as Nkosua Hini or Nkosua Hima. or Ngoyi Si or Ngoyi Fia. But this Ngoyi means development, someone who make people to go to develop. And this Ngoyi Si or Ngoyi Fia have no stools. They are just a title chief, as in respect and honor. They just respect their good work in the community and they give them that. They don't need to have a stool. And usually, they don't have a very much say in the community unless the chief or the elders give them the chance to be able to say something. So that's their position. It is just a position of respect. So the ancestral stool or Togbezikpi is a very, very important thing. That's why people sometimes go to war or people go to court to fight over who are the real royals. So that's what Togbezikpi is. And what does it do for people? It is the Togbezikpi that give the authority of the clan to be a royal clan, because their ancestors have got a stool and a chief is placed on it. And then when, as for an individual, the Togbezikpi is important because when you are having some challenges or you want certain things to be done for you, you go to your family shrine or you ask your family shrine to invoke the Togbezikpi. And when they say they are invoking the Togbezikpi, means they are invoking all the ancestors on your bloodline. And then they are now going to give the message to them into the spirit world, so that they now look for answers for you as a person who is asking for them to be invoked. So the Togbezikpi is your ancestral bloodline, and when you are having challenges, you call upon the elders and they will tell the ancestors, those who have lived long before you, that this is what their grand or great grandchild is going through. So they should come to the aid of that person. And this is what Togbezikpi is. And truly, if the elders would do the rituals according to what the ancestors were doing, answers will start coming and results will be coming. You find solutions to your challenges. So that is what Togbezikpi is for. It is the continuity of your, or the continuity of your ancestors are you, and now you invoke your ancestors when you want to talk to them through the Togbezikpi, and your ancestors will respond. Sometimes the Togbezikpi will ask you to feed it. That's why when we do the ancestral feeding, it is usually we invoke the names of all the ancestors or the people who had passed on, who had a DNA connection with you, both maternal and paternal, and then we invoke them to come to your aid and change the situation. So, Sunshine, this is what Togbezikpi is. There are more to Togbezikpi than what I am saying here, and how to feed it properly. When people are saying they are celebrating Yam Festival, it is the stool or the Togbezikpi is the one that eats yam first before the whole community will start eating yam. Otherwise, some people may eat it and get sick. So this is how Togbezikpi is. I had been in charge of Togbezikpi for at one time for 18 good years, and also I had been taught by my elders how to pray and invoke the ancestors when it needed to be done. So I know so much about Togbezikpi or the ancestral stool. Don't let anybody deceive you. If you are not from that bloodline, you can never be a chief, a queen on the stool ever. You can be associated with it spiritually in order for it to help you through other people. But you, as an individual, if you don't have any blood relationship with the stool, you can never be queen or king or chief on the Togbe Zepi. Thank you very much, Sunshine. And then we have Maria Camo saying last week, Senna told us how he just stumbled upon the connection between Japanese goddess Benzaiten, yes, and Mamiwata. My own research indicates that Japanese people associate Benzaiten with Saraswati. Okay, Saraswati is more of a Hindu goddess of Venus or whatever. Yes, Saraswati. Yes. Yeah, but the Japanese may, you see, Maria, if Senna is doing his own research and finding the Japanese goddess Benzantai and Mamiwata, because the Japanese do not know what Mamiwata is. But Senna being a mixed blood from Ewe ancestry knows what Mamiwata, or from Africa or West Africa knows what Mamiwata is. So he can have his connection between Benzaiten and Mamiwata. And so your own research is to indicate that Japanese people associate Benzaiten with Saraswati. Yes, of course. Saraswati, what is Saraswati? Is this also not a goddess of the ocean? Isn't Saraswati kind of connected to Yasmin or Jasmine? So when we say Mamiwata in Africa, it means spirits that dwell in water, or spirits that use water or liquid as their abode to operate from. That's what Mamiwata means. We're not talking about any particular figure called Mamiwata, but anything Mamiwata means spirits that use liquid or water as their abode and operate from that. That's what Mamiwata means. So if Saraswati uses water or the sea or the ocean or whatever, then it's the same. So that's what that Mamiwata means. And then Maria Camo went on and said also many Mamiwata priests in Benin portray Saraswati figures in their temples, which indicates that they are also having a good understanding of Saraswati's connection to Mamiwata. What do you think? Yes, that's what I'm just explaining. So if people in our culture are using the image of Saraswati as Mamiwata, means Saraswati is also one of the spirits of water, or it's a marine spirit. So our people are seeing it as a Mamiwata. That is the word and the language we will call any spirit that works in water or uses water to operate. It's a Mamiwata. Whether it's called Saraswati or it's called Jasmine, or it's called Yasmin, or called whatever. What is the one that Shamba? Okay. Shamba, if you are here, what's the name of your mommy? Is the one from Greece? Okay. Okay, maybe Shamba is he's here, but he's not here. So I think it's called Aneto. Okay, I don't know. There's some yeah. Maybe Kofi will know. God, it's a.
It starts with A.
Yeah, and NATO and something. Yeah, it's a Greek and Cyprus kind of deity. So Maria Camo, the spirit Saraswati, even if Japanese associate they associate Saraswati with the Benzaiten. It is the same thing. We as Africans we look at it as me. And that's why you will see that in some of our Mamiwata shrines, where people who are Mamiwata priests, they are using some of these Hindu deities as Mamiwatas because they believe that they are water spirits. And then Maria Camo.
Yes, Papa.
Yes. What is the name of your Mami, that one, the male Mamiwata?
Yes, the one that was with me
Yes.
was a Mami
Yes.
Wata. It was a female spirit from like Cyprus or something, but it's called like Astarte in some places.
Astarte.
Yeah.
Astarte.
Huh?
Astarte.
Yes.
Okay. So it's a female, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just trying to explain something on YouTube for Maria Camo, who also did a lot of research into Mamiwata with Japan as well as Benin, Togo, and all this thing. So Astarte is a female Mamiwata, but it is in the, what do you call it, in the Cyprus and Greek mythology, they will not call it Mamiwata, but they will say she has an association with the water, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the same
Yes.
thing, the same thing is with Saraswati as in Hinduism, where Saraswati and Jasmine and all these things are having association with water. So they are, in our language, we just call them mother of the water, which means Mami water. Thank you, Shamba.
Yes, thank you, Papa.
So Maria Camo, tell us about how family members fight over ancestral stool. That is Maria Camo. Okay. So people, like I was saying about ancestral stool, the truth is that if you don't come from that bloodline and you try to claim that you are from that bloodline, sometimes because of money, some people will be placed on a stool that does not actually belong to their ancestors. And the other family members who may be equally powerful will fight to remove who does not belong to that. I'll tell you a very small secret about the creation of ancestral stool. In the olden days, listen again, in the olden days, when a family want to have a strong nucleus or base from which their generations will continue to live, they do readings and they do rituals. And before a family stool or ancestral stool in the olden days can be formed, they need to sacrifice a human being. And this human being, most of the time, is the person who is the leader of the clan, their favorite child. Just as in the Bible, when Abraham was asked by God to sacrifice his son Isaac, who was his favorite son, and he obeyed. But the Bible told us that somewhere along the way, Ram came in place of Isaac. Well, okay, I was not there, you were not there, but that's what is written. But in our culture, your favorite child, mostly boys, are used to sacrifice to create the family stool. And those of you who are familiar with Akan, especially the Ashanti golden stool, when they wanted to form it, when Okomfo wanted to form that stool for them, Okomfo asked for them to give their favorite son, one of anybody in the family, to provide a favorite son, that can be used. Somewhere along the way, all the men refused or failed to provide what they will use in putting the family together. And a woman who was bold enough gave out her son to be used to create the bond between the spirit world and the physical world. That's why even as we sit here today, Ashantis are matrilineal, or most accounts are matrilineal in their inheritance, because it was a woman's son that was given, so they inherit from maternal side. And if anyone wants to be installed as a chief or Ashanti Hini or whatever over there, that must come from a maternal line. That's why they are matrilineal inheritance. So Togbi Zikpi, or ancestral stool, a blood of a very loved favorite child of a great grandfather, was sacrificed to put the family bond between the physical and the spiritual world together. And whenever that person is called upon to defend and protect a family member or anybody on their DNA line, that person in the spiritual world will come immediately to their aid, because this is his generation. So families who do not sacrifice their, or were not part of the DNA or the ancestral line which was sacrificed, sometimes use tricks, money, and other things to ascend the stool and become a chief, whereby in reality they were not supposed to be installed, because their blood is not shared on that line. Just like in Christianity, they say God sacrificed his beloved child, Jesus Christ, for the world. And that's why Jesus Christ's blood is helping Israel people, or who is Christian, whoever is a Christian. That's why I don't believe, because we are not from that bloodline. So there is nothing that can come from there for the African person, because we don't share any blood with Israel people or Palestinians. So I don't see why the Palestinian blood can be shed for the whole of the world. And now we still believe that, forgetting that our own ancestors had done that long before Christianity was even formed. So this is the reason why members of the same family fight over ancestral stools, because someone is not the one to inherit it, but either because of money or power or position, they were able to use them to inherit. It's very common in Eveland, where people whose ancestors in the family were actually slaves. Because my children would not agree if I sacrifice myself to create something for them, and you or anybody else coming from a different line try to come and claim their what do you call it? Their inheritance. They will not agree. Yeah, that's what the purpose of people fighting over family chieftaincy and stools. And then we have a sunshine again. How often should Togbe Zikpi be fed? In our tradition, Togbe Zikpi is usually fed once a year. And especially we, the Central and the Northern Aves, we feed the Togbe Zikpi during the yam harvest at Tedudu. Yam festival, or the yam. That's all that the yam festival is all around basically, wherever you go and people do yam festivals, it is all around the ancestral stool. Because for our people, they are peasants, they are farmers. So they go to farm and they plant their corn and they plant cassava and they plant yam. Yam is one of the most favorite food and regarded as a rich person's food in our community. And when they harvest yam, and that is our new year, everybody has enough money. You sell your product, farm produce, and all these things, and you make money. So our new year, Ewe land, especially Central Ewe and Northern Ewe, our new years are around the yam harvest. So that is the time that basically is fed, and it is usually fed before the whole community will start eating yam. Even though they have farm, they will not eat it until the Togbizikbi or the ancestral stool or the ancestors are fed first. But because of Christianity and all kind of religious things that have infiltrated our culture, people who are even from these very ancestral bloodlines do not care they will be eating yam, because most of them declare themselves as religious people and they are not interested in the traditions of their ancestors. However, if you do a reading and basically ask you to feed it, then you should know that you are lucky, in the sense that the Togbizikpi or the ancestral stool wanted you to feed it to energize it in order for that stool or that energy or those ancestors to be able to fight the battle that you are trying to win. Yeah, that's what is. That's what it is. So Togbizikpi is usually fed once a year during the yam festival or the harvest that the people celebrate. Some people celebrate corn festival, and I think in some part of Ewe land, around the southern part, people are celebrating cassava festival to Gari festival. So maybe in their time, it is the time that they harvested cassava and make Gari. That is the time that they feed their ancestors too. But we, the Ewes in the central and northern Ewes, we feed our ancestors or ancestrals too during the yam harvest, which is between July and September. Yes, and then we have a Yatande, is a greetings, Papa, and AMT family. I hope you are feeling better. Yes, I am. It seems so. Yes, I am feeling much, much better. Can you tell me what the name of a person born on Saturday should be in Ewe? Okay, in today's Ewe, a person born on Saturday, if it's a man, it's called Komi or Kwabi. And a woman is called Ama or Ami. That is called in Ewe. But in the olden days, when the Ewes were not did not interact with the Akans very much, we don't have names like Kojo, Kosi, Komla, and all this. These are actually coming from Akan base. We have names like Foli, Folifwe, Foliche, Kuma, Kumache. All these are some of the names that we have. But because of the interaction of different cultures, now our names are given to us by the week. In the week, or the days of the week. So a Saturday born man will be called Kwame or Komi, and a woman will be called Ama or Ami in Ewe. Thank you very much, Yatande. And I think there is okay. Let's go to Taj Kutumi. Say Taj Kutumi, say Baba, you live in Thailand. Yes, I did. Why do the Thai use so many human spirits like bad ghosts with their talismans and so on? Oh, every culture has their own way to do their spiritual work. If they are creating talismans with the head of human beings and all this, and maybe in their belief, I don't know, that's why I say maybe, in their belief, they think that the spirit of that dead person should be around you to fight for you. And also it depends on you, what you ask them to do. When I was in Thailand and I was learning spirituality, I have not interacted with, what do you call it, people who were using human parts to create talismans. I dealt with a woman who was a psychic by birth and more of dealing with nature spirits and also with the Buddha and the spirits that came through Buddhism. So that's what I had associated myself with. So I'm not sure whether I don't know why Thais use human spirits like a baby ghost with their talismans. I don't know, but I think it is there. It is in their thought that they should use it to protect you or to fight on your behalf. Eves can also do that. They can also invoke a ghost to attack you. There are so many ways they can invoke a ghost to attack you, but I don't think that they will make a talisman out of some. I don't know. I cannot say. What I had been taught is what I teach here. So I have not been taught how to use human parts to create a voodoo or create a talisman. However, I was taught how to use the clothing of people who died traumatic death to create talisman in order to invoke the spirit of that person to be protecting the person in case the person falls into danger. So this is what I know, but I cannot know why the talisman of baby ghost are used in Thailand. And then we have Alec Kwe. Say good evening, Papa and AMT. May your ancestors keep you strong. Thank you very much, Alec. I'm very grateful. And Alec Kwe went on to say, I would like to know your thoughts, sir. It is said that the Ga are related to the Yoruba. So is it okay if a Ga person practices Ifa? Can Ifa be considered a commonly shared ancestral practice? Yes, Alex. The Ga, the Ewe, the Fo, and the Yoruba are having a very common ancestral root. So the Ga, there are some words in Ga that are the same words in Ewe, and I think it's the same words in what do you call it, in Fo, and the same words in Yoruba with the same meaning. So a Ga person practicing Ifa or Afa is perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. You have a common ancestral practice. Yes, that's very true. And then Taj Kutumi said, Baba, the story you told us about human sacrifice and the stool makes it seem like the Bible stories are copied from African history. That's what we believe. That's what some of us who are no more in the church, who have come to realize where our roots are coming from. That's what we believe, that most of the biblical stories are stories that are collected from African traditional spirituality, and especially Ewe traditional spirituality, made into stories of the Jews, the Palestinians, and part Arabs. Yeah, but it's okay. We still maintain our line. We never know, God didn't send any ram when our ancestors were making their stool. But after the stool had been created, there will be no more human sacrifices, and the only ram will be used to feed the stool from that time onwards until generations yet unborn. So that's why we use ram to give to our stool when we are feeding the stool. So it is not a story where God sent a ram. Why should God himself kill his own beloved child and give to people he don't know? Leave that story for the people who are telling it. So we have Maria Kamu again, Baba. When you say a ghost is invoked to attack you, does that mean the ghost is attacking your soul on the psychic plane? It could be even in physical world, because anything that will happen on the physical world first starts from the psychic plane. So when a ghost is invoked to attack you, definitely it will start attacking your spirit, attacking your inner self before you physically start feeling it. And sometimes the ghost can also come down physically, because it's already done, especially people who died traumatic death. They are always around until their real time for death comes. They are still around. And people who know the keys and formula can invoke them to come and frighten you and even cause accidents and destroy your life. Yeah, it is both psychic as well as physical. Thank you, Maria.
Please, Papa, we are going to Facebook.
Okay, so we are going to Facebook now.
Africa Magic Temple Facebook.
We are on Africa Magic Temple Facebook. Okay, so we have Lustig. It's a good afternoon, Papa. I just lost my uncle this past Wednesday. Is there anything I have to do? Please, what is the difference between the ancestors and the gods? It's like we confuse these two spirits. Thank you. Yeah, most of you people confuse it. That's why I kept teaching it here, that ancestors are different from the voodoo. I had been teaching you from the very beginning. The ancestors are not voodoos, and the voodoos are not called ancestors. But most people, especially people in the diaspora, and some people in Africa or in our cultures who do not really know where they are coming from and they don't know where they are going, they most of the time just mix all these things and make mistakes, and others follow on that line thinking that they are right. The ancestors are people who had shared the same DNA with you, both on paternal and on maternal side. People who had lived in this world at one time before, whose generation you are part of, whose DNA you have shared, but today they have passed on into the world of the dead, or the world behind the iron curtain, or into the spirit world. Such people are called ancestors. Your fathers, mothers, great-great-grandmothers, great-great-grandfathers, uncles, aunties who had passed on are called ancestors. Whereas the spirits, the voodoos, are spirits of nature who are already there long before human beings came on this earth. And when you are able to know how to channel them and create an abode or a place for them to be able to communicate with them and let them partner with you and you work with them, are called voodoos, and they are called gods. These are not ancestors. But some of them can be your ancestral spirits, not your ancestral fathers or grandfathers or this in bed. They may be spirits that your ancestors had dealt with So they became ancestral spirits of the family. Like, take for instance, Tigeri. Tigeri is a spirit from the northern part of Ghana. Whether it has gone into Burkina, Mali, and all this thing, I don't know, but I know it came from the north. And Tigeri has been in some families for generations of centuries. And some family members continue to work with it. So people can tell you, oh, these are your ancestral spirits. These are the spirits that work with your ancestors. But the Tigeri is not your ancestor. It can never be your ancestor because it has no blood relationship with you. But your ancestors had employed the duty of that particular energy to work through the family. So when the family is talking, it also has a place to talk, but it is not an ancestor because it has no blood relationship with you. So that is the difference between ancestors and the gods. The gods are spirits of nature, and spirits that had lived here before we came, and then people kind of channel them to be able to work with them. These are called Vodus and all these things, but they are not your ancestors. That's why when people see you teaching people, others say, why are you giving our ancestors to people? Who told you that Vodus are your ancestors? See, when you don't know, you're supposed to keep quiet and listen and learn. But most of the time, people who do not know are the ones who make the most noise. Get the okay. Let me. I am here on Lustig. Yeah. Okay. Let me finish with Lustig before going to the down. So Lustig, that's it. So for your uncle that you lost, I think they have to call the elders, and in case he is already buried, then the elders have to do a reading and ask the spirit of your uncle what should be done for him. Even if he is not buried, you can still do a reading, a far reading, or even a mirror reading to find out from your uncle what does he want to be done for him before burial or during burial. They will be able to talk this, since he's no more a physical being. He will be able to, you can be able to connect with him and ask him what should be done before his burial. And sometimes there are certain secrets that it will come and tell you. When my cousin died, he did some illegal electrical connection at his business place. But then he died an accidental death. So he came to me in my dream and told me to tell the children that there is some electrical connection done somewhere, so they should fix it back quickly because he's no more there, and maybe when the electricity people come, they may have problem with them. And I didn't know anything about it. But then I called the daughter and told her, and she said yes, there was something like that, they were aware of it. So I told them that their father said they should dismantle it, which they did. So when people die, they can connect with you, they can contact you. You can also contact them and be able to get some information. Thank you. Let's go down. I think there is a DJ. Is it? Did we read that one already?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to Van Terico. So Van Terico is saying, hello, Papa. Based on what you told us about bloodline, if we see white man in America telling us he has brought back an ancestral tool from Africa, we should be suspicious. Yes, correct. Well, from who? Who will give him an ancestral tool to carry go? Hey, don't let them deceive you. That's why I'm saying that they all come with stories that they are chiefs, and this on which tool, on which family line are they coming from that they can be sure, and that family people who had been there already can be sure that they are direct blood relatives of that clan, and from that family, so that they can give them the ancestral stool. Nobody will give you an ancestral stool to take away. Yes, stools can be carved for you and made into a spiritual stool for you as an individual. And maybe one day that stool can become an ancestral stool for your generation. But for you coming into Africa and carry some wooden thing and say it's your ancestral stool, from which family? And from which generation do you come from before you can boast that you want to? You are having an ancestral stool. And what about the family that who have been in charge of that ancestral stool long before you were even born? Will hand over the stool for you and take it to America? Then what will they be with? And what will be the other thing? Even the stool, by taking, if it's a real stool and you give it away, you die. They'll kill you. Okay, we have a DJ A. Say, how long does it take to be initiated into a dwarf spirit? Oh, it does not take so long. If the dwarf itself wants to work with you, because we don't just initiate people into certain things just because they want. We will ask the spirit if it wants to work with this person, and if he say yes, I will work with you. Why not? We will initiate you. Yeah. I remember Shamba came to Ghana, and we were doing some Mamiwata initiations, and he also wanted to be initiated, but the spirits afar and everything was saying no, it is not the time for him. So we did not initiate him into Mamiwata. But when he went back home and Senna went to America, he again asked the same question, and when they consulted, they said yes, he should be initiated. And when he was initiated, the spirits started visiting him. So in this tradition, you should always ask if you want to be sure of what you are doing. Ask questions. Ask the spirit well, and then you will find answers. Thank you very much. And Van Terico was saying, hello, Papa, based on what? Okay, that's what we have just read. The DJ, yes, for initiation into dwarf and Mamiwata, it does not take that long at our shrine. Okay, we'll go to Revolution. There's nothing. Okay, we are done with Revolution. Try TikTok and see. Okay, we are on YouTube again. African Magic Temple, right?
Yes.
Okay, we are on YouTube. I think we had Hans Austin, but he has retracted the question he wanted to ask. Has retracted that question. Then okay, now under is Hans Austin said, "Would I be able to find out who my ancestral spirit is through a reading, or do I have to know exactly what area and the lineage I come from in Africa?" Okay, Hans, you see, you can never know your ancestral spirit through a reading. It is not possible. It will be very, 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 very unlikely that I have to be very sincere with you. You will never know the ancestral spirit, that stool that you come from. One is that most of the people in the diaspora, they have got many, many mixed bloods from different parts of Africa, and also from the diaspora itself. So for you to be able to know directly which ancestral root you come from in Africa will only be an exaggeration. Yes, like those people in Haiti who basically came from Ewe tribe in Haiti. Most of them are from the F4 and Ewe tribes. But over the centuries, there is highly possibility that there were so many mixtures from different ethnic groups in the diaspora. So for you to be able to trace your root to the family where you come from, it's not that very possible. Through a reading too, it is not that possible. Because it will tell you, yes, you may be an Ave, you may be an Akan, you may be a Fulani, you may be a Awusa, you may be a Ga. But which particular house in the Ga is a big tribe, the Ave is a big tribe, Fulani is a big tribe, and Hausa is a big tribe. So which particular house or clan would you be tracing yourself to? Most of the time, people come here to Africa and they have been deceived that the ancestors have seen that you are from our family. There's a lot of them staying in Akwamu Fie area, and they say the ancestors are from Akwamu Fie. Yes, they may have some blood relationship with their Akwamu Fie, but which particular village, which particular town? Because you are talking about 500 plus years ago, or 400 years plus years ago. Who is able to trace your DNA to about 400-500 years? DNA itself, it only go up to some point, and you can never know. So when someone tells you that you are from their family and they are trying to create a thing for you by making you look as if you are a very special person, you should be very much afraid. Maybe they are just looking to take advantage of your ignorance. When you do a reading and you get initiated into it, you can know your head spirit or Tajivodu, the spirits that you came into this world with. You can know that. But to know your ancestral root, it's doubt. It's not yet done. It's very, you need to, okay, it is doubtful. I will not deceive you. You can be said that, you have an Ave blood in you. And the Aves are stretching from Ghana all the way to Badagry in Nigeria. So which particular tribe? Because even in Badagry, there was also a slave port there. People were transported from there to other parts of the world. From the coast of Ghana, so many all the way to Togo, Benin. People have been transported. So it is not possible. I must be very frank and sincere with you. It is not possible. But you can be said to be an Akan. There's an Akan blood in your DNA. There's a Ave blood or Ga blood or Hausa or Igbo or Yoruba blood in your descent. It's rather unfortunate that you cannot really trace your house where your ancestors came from. Because the truth about it is that sometimes people were moved from the north, then they came to stay in the south for within some communities before again they were sold out and transported. So now maybe they had children in this community, so they think they are from this community, but they may not be from there. As reading will not be able to pinpoint the house you came from. It can tell you that you have this, just like DNA. You have this blood, you have this blood, you have that blood, but to tell you the point where exactly you came from is impossible. At least from my knowledge, it is impossible. But that doesn't stop you from being an African or being an Ave or being a Ga or anything. You can be a Ga. You don't know which house or which part of the Ga. Because within the Gans, we have Ga, Adangbe, all this, they're all Gans. So you may not know. But anyway, someone can deceive you. And so I know where you came from. You're talking about 400 years. Even 100 years, is it a small thing? To talk about 400-500 years ago. It's not that easy. but you can have a tribal traits or trails in your blood to say, oh, this man's way of dressing or the way this person's face it looks like an Ewe, it looks like an Hausa, it looks like a Fulani. Those kind of things. Thank you, Hans, for your question. Then we have Maria Camo say, Baba, why do some temples insist on knowing your head spirit first before proceeding with initiation? Maybe that is their style. In Ghana, Afa, we don't know your head spirit first before initiating. It is through initiation before we will know your head spirit. There are so many people who are doing initiation who are actually not qualified to do initiation. Because in Ewe Afa, to become, before you can do initiation, there are certain kind of voodoos that you must have. Those voodoos are the ones that support you as a priest. When you do initiation, then the initiation is on its right path, and the voodoos will also support the initiates. A lot of people, especially in the diaspora, who are initiating do not have those voodoos, yet still they are initiating people and telling people so many things. So we in Ewe Afa and the teachers that I learned from, you cannot know your head spirit unless you are initiated. And there is that Obatala and all these things people are giving, and people walking around and say, I'm El Shango, I am this. That is just a deceit. I'm sorry to say, but that's what I know. Yeah. You cannot know your head spirit if you are not initiated. How are you going to know it? Okay, let me go to Zia Baha here. Say, hi, Papa. How about Tron? I heard Tron is related to Islam. Is this always the case? What is the Tron? What do people use Tron for? Thank you, Papa. Zia Baha on Clubhouse is asking that question. A Tron in our language is nothing related to Islam or Arab. A Tron is a spirit or a voodoo that has other voodoos working underneath it. So in a village like this, they may have one etron or two etrons. For instance, the river that passes through my village, River Dai, is regarded as a tron. Where is the Arab or Islam coming in? That river had been there ever since generations. So before Islam came to, so where does Islam come in? So a tron simply means a voodoo that is a very powerful voodoo to the point that it becomes a community voodoo or communal voodoo that people from different places come to join with that voodoo to celebrate it and ask for its protection. That is what a tron is. But then there's one individual ones that you have and you keep for yourself. It's called voodoo. Yes, it can work for you and work for people who come near you. But a tron is much bigger than that. In every land, we have some voodoos which are called a tron. It's not every voodoo that people have in their house is called a tron. The etron is a higher, a bigger voodoo, or a voodoo that has a lot of other small spirits or other small voodoos working for it. That's what etron is. And by its own work, you can also see how wide it can work. A tron can be here and work all over the world, even though the tron house or the shrine of the tron will be here at African Magic Temple, but it can work anywhere in the world, and it will be doing positive things and defending and protecting people. That is what a tron is. We use a tron for protection and also to defend us. And when we need some help from the spirit world, sometimes we ask the tron to intercede on our behalf so that we can get through our desires. So thank you, Zia, for that question. And then we are going to YouTube, and we have Togbeji Bezan Sesoka here. Say greetings and good day, Papa Bokor Enuledo. Well, you were full. America, you are looking good, Papa. You are looking good today. I hope you are, you and everyone. Yes, Togbe Jigbeza, thank you. I'm very happy and thank you. I'm wearing your beautiful necklace that you made and Shamba brought to me. So today I just felt like wearing it. And thank you very much for everything. I am okay. And how are you and how is family? Hope everybody is fine at your end too. May the ancestors and the gods continue to be with you. And then we have a Taj Kutumi. Say, Togbe, why do some priests
say they wear their hats to protect their head?
Yeah, there are some spirits in or a throne. It's not even voodoo. That's where a throne matter comes. There are some a throne when you are born, and the throne has chosen you to be one of its priests. Not you wanting to be a priest of a throne. A throne might have chosen you from childhood that you are going to be its priest. And there is something we call kukuto, person who wears hat. So a throne will maybe from your ancestors, whoever is in charge of that voodoo must wear hat all the time. Whether they are wearing the hat to protect their head, I don't know. But there are some a throne whose rules and regulation is that whoever is going to be in charge of them or whoever is initiated to take charge of the throne must wear hat all the time. But in my case, I'm not wearing hat because I have any throne who say I should wear hat. But there are some throne who act zero. So a throne must let people wear hat. So the people wear hat. But fortunately for me, I have never had any a throne who forces me to wear hat. I know a throne like Togbe Tagbalo, Togbe Ajima. Some of them, they have people have to wear. Even some people, they even put some raffia on their neck all the time. So that is the throne. But I'm happy I'm not associated with such a throne. So the ones that I work with, I can wear my suit and necktie and sit here, and I'll teach you the same thing. And when I initiate you, the same effect will come. It is not what I wear or wore that determines the power of the spirits I work with. So thank you very much. That's good to me.
You're going to TikTok.
Okay, I think our time is already, we are already in 6. So, but anyway, we are on TikTok now. L222 say, Papa, can someone be married to a spirit without their knowledge? Spiritual spouses, how does that happen? You see, me, I don't know much about these spiritual spouses. I think Christianity brought this spiritual spouse matter. We in Everland, what we know is that a spirit can decide to partner with you, associate with you, without your knowledge. And that spirit will be trying to work with you, but since you don't know it and you have no knowledge about the spirit, you may not know that the spirit is with you. But through certain things that will be happening to you in your life, and when you do a reading, that spirit will now show its head and tell the diviner that it wants to be with you, or it wants to work with you, or it's already trying to work with you. It is up to you to decide and agree to work with it or not. If you don't want to work with that spirit, then you must find a way that they can dismiss the spirit or dispatch it from your life. For instance, there are some children, before they will be born, some spirits already within their father's shrine or within the family will let people know that this child that is coming is going to be the priest of my shrine. And if the parents are into voodoo or into our tradition, they will ask further questions and prepare for the arrival of the child. And when the child arrives, they will do the necessary rituals for the child, and the child and the spirit will now be united in a very understanding way. And because the baby or the child is so small, the parents of the child will be acting on the child's behalf until the child grows to a point where they will now let the child know that these are the spirits that came with you into this world and they are working with you, and then they will teach them. But unfortunately, those people whose parents are following religion and religion or religious ways would dismiss this fact that there's a spirit that wants to work with their child. You know, the truth about life is that the spirit world does not have religion. There is no religion at all. So whether you are Muslim or Christian or Baha'i or whatever, the spirit world doesn't care. If they want to work with you, they can choose to work with you. The people with religious backgrounds sometimes would deny and try to run away. And some of these people you see walking on the street like mad people, some of them because their parents or their families rejected the call of the spirit world. And what happens? The person will just not be a normal person anymore. But if parents are smart enough, they will be able to look for what to do for their child to grow. I have a friend who father got a spirit, set up the shrine, but through consultation and divination, the spirit said that he, the father, is not going to be the priest of the shrine. That a child is going to be born, and that child will be its priest. And truly, the child was born, and the child became the priest of the shrine. And so when he prays at that shrine, it works faster than other people. This is what happens in spirit world. So spiritual spouses and all this, and I think it's all sometimes just Christianity. It's a Christianity, especially, they are always looking for. Roland, I am in the house, but I'm in my session. You can come if you are on your way. Okay?
Hello. Okay.
Yes, I'm in the house.
Hello,
you can come.
Okay, sir. Come in.
So, about the spirit working with you or marrying to you without your knowledge, sometimes it is possible, but spirit will not force you. You need to find out what is happening in your life. Sometimes they will be bringing dreams to you and all this. It means some spirit wanted to work with you sometimes. But it's also up to you whether you want to work with the spirit or not. If you don't want to work with the spirit, then you have to find a way to dismiss or dispatch the spirit back to its spirit world. And then we have L222 was laughing. So Papa said, you just reached. You are Queen Mother. Yeah, people say you are Queen Mother. Which family Queen Mother are you? People collect money from people and tell them they're going to make them chiefs. And then people carry themselves holding a big Tossi or Bodia and walking around that I am a chief. Chiefs have stools. And chiefs from any village and associated with any particular clan or family in the village, they have a stool. So you cannot just be a chief and be a chief in the air, or be a queen mother in the air and be walking around and tell people that you're a queen in Africa. Which Africa? Is Africa a country? Yeah, let's move on. Okay, we are reaching Weapon. Hello, sir. Good evening, and good evening, Weapon. How are you? Thank you very much. Thank you for joining the DC. And then we have a user Rockstar Owusu. Please, how do I know my own soul and how to serve him? It's his dislikes. User Rockstar Owusu, I think the best thing for you to know this thing is first to do a reading, to know what your inner self, which we call a say destiny, what it is saying and what it wants you to do. It is only through a reading that you can start to know. Sometimes it may ask you to set it up, and then you know what to do. And if it says, oh, you must remove the negative part, then you know what to do. And if it tells you that you must be initiated into Afa so that you can get the blueprint of your life, then you know. It is always start with a reading. So that's what I can advise you on. Let's go up. Let's finish it.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I think we are done here today. And Hans Austin says, is it possible a spirit from another part of the world wants to work with you? How would you identify this? Yes, of course, spirits from all over the world can decide to work with you. Because that's, as I said, spirits are not religious. And also, they are not having any racial background or discrimination at all. Spirits from anywhere can work with you. And for you to be able to know where they are coming from, that is where reading comes into it. And then the spirit will have to identify itself and tell you what it is and what it wants to do. And then if someone who knows the spirit, you have to go to that person in order for the person to initiate you into it. Sometimes self-initiations are very dangerous because before you can work with a spirit and be successful with that spirit, you must know a lot of things about the spirit. And that's what helps you to know whether the spirit is good for you or it's not good for you. But by seeing any spirit and just say, oh, I want to initiate into it, if the spirit is a bad spirit, then your actions and everything will be bad. People will not like it. We have spirits that are bad and we have spirits that are good. But that is the nature how God created them, because God created night and God created day. Sometimes people look at night as bad because it's dark and you can't see anything and a lot of things can happen to you. But then that's how nature created it. It is always two, man, woman, the sky, the ground, day and night. So there are also some spirits that are naturally created to be bad spirits. But if you know how to work with them, to you who is working with them may not be bad spirit. So it is not we human beings who decide which spirit is good spirit or bad spirit. It is nature that decides it, how they are created. I think we are done. We have Makera Tulis. He said, do you do readings? Yes, we do readings at Africa Magic. Thank you. Okay, so that is where African Magic Temple, and we have Stella Matenga. Say hello, Daddy. Some people are using snake for getting wealthy. It's part of spirit and it's good night. Thank you. There is nobody can use a snake to collect money or make money. It is a scam. Does snake have a money printing machine inside its stomach? How can people use a snake to print money? It's a scam. How can snake? You think it gets a printing machine inside its stomach? Don't let we are talking serious thing here. That thing doesn't exist. It's a scam. That is all Yahoo and people who are scammers. What name also?
Yahoo,
No,
Sakawa.
Sakawa. No snake can bring money, my brother, sister. There's nothing like that. It is all lies. It's just they will take your money rather than giving you money. Snake doesn't have printing machine inside its stomach. God did not make snake to be a money printer. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave today's section, and then I'll just pour libation, and then I'll see you again next week. Thank you all for these beautiful questions, and I'm very happy that you have been here. Thank you. Oh, I go. My manga so body samanga say. The say joto, I'm a joto. It's a nanuamelo, set an anuame. Woman of a V doc, maybe may your racket woman of a V, maybe an doc of a view, but maybe an woman. You know. The same may be an oga tenumo. Namala Mrs. Black Bedidi. And I may you pity for Holami, Messiah Bessen and Ala Mrs. Black Bedidio. Go do. Ngobe never. Okay, there are some few this thing we saw on Facebook. I'll read them. Alama Mrs. Black Bedidi never know. Cosra and you know, a donage dodgino. Lama Mrs. never know. I may all a strong dumal strong pon no postro. I may all a strong peme. Okay, only attack one a chuk plus sibeno no potane. Me o jivio me tapona ovio de no potane. Me o la sicha asiba no no. Me o la glede you know. Me o le sukulu be mono puno. Me o le business be mono puno. Kosra me no na me sia me le togbe pe mama obon come. Obe se o no kplo. O ne wa po ala me se kle agbedidi. Me o la me se di la me se ne balo togbe. Pa ara yi me yo mi. Me yo afana go no afambo. Pẹpẹ tọmọ sọlẹ mẹ dàgbà mi ọ̀pọ̀ lè gbẹ méjì ẹkú méjì wọlé méjì di méjì lọsọ méjì wọlé méjì abúlé méjì akọlẹ méjì gbúdọ méjì sá méjì ká méjì túrúpẹ méjì túlá méjì lẹtẹ méjì tí méjì fún méjì kọlìtsẹ túlá mẹ yọ kẹlẹbọ bí lẹkẹ mọ pọ àtọba dé òpó ọmọ tọba dé yẹn adé ẹmọ pọẹrẹ méjì ẹgbọlọvi lè mẹtsọzù o pààlọ ní o ayé tútù máa ń dún agbẹnà vẹjì gbé jàjà gbèrègbèrè kókólóvi dọpọ rẹ mẹdà gbòbìrì kú lọgbọ tí mẹjà yẹn àti ìpèjì rẹ jù náà bọkọ bàtí ní kúrè do hane beta yeye na tepeche na tiku ne boko no tonu ikore be da ne jere tare da jere beta tagbe klebo vi menyoro ma po den sia awudo chitula we vi menyose never agbemana olo ma obo nya ne no entipe. Okay, we have a Miano Nyongbasi Adelasi. Say, Papa, I used to be seeing a lot of big snakes in my dreams. Seeing a lot of cowrie snakes appearing to me at the riverside, and you made me aware it could be a royal python from home. I did my checks and divinations and rituals follow, and here I am, Nyongbosi. Okay, now I know. I know who is Nyongbosi here. Thank you. And then, okay, you are very much welcome. So, and here I am, Nyongboshi. So whatever we see in our dreams are who we were in the past or who we are to become. And hence, let's take our dreams serious. Thanks to you, Papa, for enlightening me on this journey right here on Revolution at Akpe. Okay, thank you very much, Mama Nyongboshi. Thank you, and Adelashi. Thank you. I'm very grateful. And then we have Henry Hansen said, dreams are serious. Oh, yes, they are. They are very serious. And then we have Miano Nyongboshi Adelashi said, dreams are indeed serious and important. They are very, very, very. I'm happy for you, Miano Nyongboshi. Yeah, then Henry Hansen said, Papa, I am the original Wezolo. Okay, thank you. Okay, I thought so. Thank you. And then we have my in-law, my daughter-in-law, Sila Ameji. Say, good evening, Papa. Please, is Togbezikpi transportable? Yes, Togbezikpi can be transportable when Togbezikpi is in danger. sometime if you cut it, will you go?
No.
Okay. Sometimes there is war, or there are people who wanted to come and steal your Togbe in the sense that they don't belong to that family, yet still they want to come and steal it and then run away with it. For this reason, Togbe can be transported. You can easily pray to it and move it. Because in my case, there was a time that people were trying to, they stole the Togbe from my cousins. And later, when I came back from Japan, I was able to get it back from them. Then my cousin died. And then these very people who took the Togbe for the first time were about to come and take the Zikpi again. So what I did is that when my cousin's children called me, said, Papa, these people came and prayed this evening, this morning, that they want to come and take the stool from our father's house. What should we do? I just told them to wait for me. I drove all the way from my place, Accra. I went there and I moved the Togbe to a different location. What the people did is that when they came after praying, they actually came to pick it. They came after praying, they ate food and drank. Before they knew, they already forget the Togbe. They got back to their homes, and it is the following day before they remember that they didn't pick the Togbe. By that time, I already came and moved it to a safer location. So Togbe can be transported. How is our princess? Fanyu, please, my regards to her and to your mother. Thank you very much, Sila. Thank you very much. Like this. And then we have Dr. Labi Cosmos here. He said, Togbe, the thing is that most of the diasporas come to Africa with already chieftaincy, queen mother notion in mind. Yes, I agree with you 100%. They want to be queens, so that when they go back to America, they call themselves that we are queen in Africa, we are queen in this country. So when they come, all that they are interested in is being installed as a chief or queen. Yes, I agree with you. I saw one few weeks ago. They want to be installed as a chief or queen. Many of them are going around calling themselves they are calling themselves chief and queen as a ceremonial or developmental chief and queen. Okay, maybe developmental and ceremonial, fine. That's fine. Because some white people even were given that chieftaincy title if they are helping the community to develop here. Or even my wife, Sena's mother, and Sena's mother, Sena and Pele's mother, she's a queen in one of the cocoa growing area in Ghana, because the company that she was working for was buying a traceable cocoa. Traceable cocoa is a cocoa that we trace the root where the growers, people who are growing the cocoa. So the company that she worked for was buying cocoa from Ghana and exporting to Japan. When I say cocoa, it's not like in small quantity. They are buying in heavy. They are one of the Ghana Cocoa Board's main clients to Japan. So they were buying the cocoa from there, and later they brought school to the area. They built library for the children because they were trying to tell the farmers not to use harmful chemicals to spray the cocoa, because sometimes the harmful chemicals go into the cocoa beans and it's causing cancer to some people who are very sensitive. Because here in Africa, even if we get cancer, we don't know. But there are some people who are very sensitive, so they were doing this. So the area, the chiefs and the queen mothers in the area, they installed my wife as a queen mother, because a developmental queen mother. That's what they call Nkosuo Ohima.
Yes.
Nana Akosua, something. I don't even know. So she was carried in palanquin, paraded around the town. So she's a Japanese, but she was made a queen mother in a place, not with a stool, but because of development that she's bringing into the area. So, yes, Dr. Labi Cosmos, you are very right. If the people carry themselves, so I am a developmental queen or I'm a developmental chief of a village or a community, that's fine. When they came to say I'm a royal blood in Africa, well, your grandmother didn't come from here, your grandfather didn't come from here. How can you be royal blood? Anyway, thank you very much for that answer and comment. I'm very grateful, Dr. Labi Cosmos. Dr. Labi Cosmos is a herbalist and traditional priest, and he has gone through all the training as a traditional priest as well as herbalist, and he's even associated with Mampong, where the government
about medicine.
Government validate people who are real herbal medicine practitioners in Ghana, and he's one of the people who are validated by the government. So please, you can check his website, and he has so many beautiful medicines for detoxification, to detoxify your body, and all kind of medicines for your health. He is a very good doctor. Thank you, Dr. Labi Cosmos. And then we have a Sila. I say, good evening, Papa, please. Okay, we have gone through that already. And then we have Vanterico. I say, Papa, I'm happy to hear that Sena's mother was part of trying to stop pesticide use in cocoa farming. Please tell us more about this when you have time. This is a very commendable act that should be celebrated. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, we have been involved in the cocoa industry and cocoa farming and all this thing for over 20-something years in Ghana. And we have brought a lot of changes into cocoa farming in Ghana. My wife's initiative. Thank you, Vanterico. Yeah. Is that all?
Yes.
So I have prayed. Look at Sila. Did she come with another question or there's no? Okay. So, okay, let's go to the other one that you just clicked. Okay, then DJA is saying that how long does it take to be initiated to a dwarf spirit? I think I have answered that
yes,
one. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we do reading, yes, and then somebody is saying, I source. Please, I don't dream. What do I do? I don't dream. What do I do? I just explained that people dream, but they are not able to recollect their dreams. That's why they think that they did not dream. So, if you want to find out what you can do, please book an appointment and do a reading. You will find out. You will know what to do. And then we have an analysis. Say, I greet you, voice.
I greet your voice on.
What is your? Okay. The first thing I don't know. Say, I greet you. Voice answers. What is your opinion on exporting African natural resources across the borders? I'm not a businessman, so I don't know. I don't have any opinion. Even if I have opinion, my opinion will not matter because I'm not a politician and I'm not a businessman. So my opinion will not really matter whether they export African natural resources across the borders. No, I don't have the power to change anything there. My power is limited to where I am talking about our ancestors and our ancestral spirits. Yes, voice of our ancestors. Okay. Yes, and for our natural resources to move across the borders, I think it has been going on ever since our ancestors their time. People take cola nut from another part of the Africa and bring it to another part. People bring salt from somewhere and bring so natural resources had been going on all the time. So I don't think it's my place to tell whether it is okay or it is not okay, because if we don't have charcoal in our area and somebody export charcoal to us. Yes. If we want to wear gold and we don't have gold in our area and we come to buy gold from another country and bring it to our area, I don't think anything is wrong with it. It is when it is being stolen by the white man, where they put airfields in the middle of the jungle and then fly out with uranium and plutoniums and all kind of natural resources without actually benefiting the people who live where these things are being mined at. That is where we have a problem. But what power do I have over United Nations or any country for that matter? If they are stealing it, yeah, it's not good. But then it is the government's duty to control people stealing our natural resources. But most of the time, our politicians all over Africa are in cohort with these people, just because bit of that whatever they have stolen will be put there in Europe or in America for them to come and enjoy when they are in trouble, or their children will go into trouble. So what can we do? I am teaching you to live your life well so that tomorrow you don't have the consequences. But maybe if you don't live your life well, in your next life they will make you a mouse. Okay, thank you everybody for today. I said that I like the word stolen. Yes, if they are stealing it, that's what I have to mention. If they are stealing it, they have stolen our natural resources, then that is why we all have issue. But transporting it across the border is not any problem if it is genuinely benefiting the people who owns or who are beside this natural resources. But if it is not, then they have stolen it. We are all against it. But it is our governments who have to act. Even if I say anything here, it will not be anything. It's only for you to hear. But what change will it bring if the people who are involved in the act, people who are supposed to be protecting our natural resources, are the part of the people who are stealing it? Thank you very much, Analysis. I'm very grateful. And for all of you who have joined the section today, thank you, Joshua Agbemasi, and thank you all for being here. We have come to the end of today's section, and God willing, I hope that I will be strong again and be able to be here to teach you. Okay, we have Hans Austin on YouTube say, I understood. Thank you. Thank you to Hans. Then we have Maria Camo. Say, Papa, is it possible to be initiated into so many spirits which causes a person to have too many taboos and very restricted life? Yes, it is very possible. I am initiated into over 100 spirits, more than 100 plus spirits. That's what I mean, initiated into. But here I am living my life normal. I don't see the restrictions are for my own sake, for my own life. With some people who are not even initiated, if they're even doing a common reading, they restrict them from certain things. So I don't see the restrictions, for me, I don't see the restrictions as anything, because at the end of the day, it is for my life to live my life well. That's why the restrictions. Because it is not only for the voodoo, but it's also for me. So it is nothing wrong. But I've been initiated into how many hundreds of voodoo, but I am here. I live my life. I have sex. I eat food. I eat meat. I'm still living my life. Sometimes I even go out with my children to restaurants and other places and eat. So what restriction that or taboo that can stop your life from growing? We want to live. That's why we are following this spiritual path. And if there will be the rules and regulations that will help us to live long, why shouldn't we follow? We have to abide by that. Anyway, we have a holistica.org. Papa, does one need to be initiated to use the talking herb cowries? No, you don't need to be initiated, because the cowries will be initiated and they will be talking for you. You don't need to be initiated before you use them. No. Yes, that's one thing we were going to be doing very soon. We are going to prepare the talking herbs, and those people who wanted to buy will have to contact us. It's going to be $200 for the cowries and plus shipping. I don't know where you will be posted to, so you have to pay your shipping. So that's what it is. But we will be preparing them between now and December. We'll be preparing the talking herbs or the talking cowries for people who are interested to buy. Thank you very much, holistica.org. Okay, and I thank you all. I've already prayed, so I'm thanking you all. May the ancestors continue to be with you until we meet again next week. Bye bye for now. The camera. Marina. Okay. Roland. Eva. I never.